Most people think intelligence is loud. Fast answers, perfect grades, confident opinions. But real intelligence, it's often quiet. It questions itself. It observes more than it speaks. And sometimes it feels lonely. Tonight, we're not talking about IQ scores or trivia knowledge. We're uncovering 10 scientifically supported signs that suggest your mind may operate differently from most people around you. Not better, not superior, just wired in ways research consistently links to higher cognitive ability. Let's begin. Number 10. You talk to yourself. It might look strange from the outside, whispering while solving a problem, rehearsing conversations in your head. But inside the brain, something powerful is happening. Self-talk activates the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for planning, decision-making, and executive control. Research published in the Quarterly Journal of Experimental Psychology found that speaking instructions aloud improves focus and task performance. Lupien and Swingley, 2012. Why? Because language strengthens working memory. When you verbalize thoughts, you reinforce neural pathways linking the Broca area, speech production, and the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, cognitive control. In simple terms, you're using language as a cognitive tool. Highly intelligent individuals often externalize thought to organize complex information. What looks odd may actually be structured internal reasoning spilling outward. Sometimes the smartest conversations you'll ever have are with yourself. Number 9. You're comfortable being alone. To many, solitude feels like deprivation. To certain minds, it feels like oxygen. A study published in the British Journal of Psychology found that individuals with higher intelligence reported lower life satisfaction from frequent socialization compared to others. This doesn't mean antisocial. It suggests that cognitively complex individuals often require uninterrupted time for deep processing, what neuroscientists call default mode network activation. This brain network becomes active during introspection, imagination, and long-term planning. In solitude, the brain isn't idle. It's reorganizing information, forming abstract connections, simulating future outcomes. Silence for a complex mind is not emptiness, it's construction. Number 8. You change your mind when evidence changes. Many people cling to beliefs like anchors, but intelligent thinking behaves differently. Psychologists call it cognitive flexibility, the ability to update beliefs when presented with new data. Research from Stanford University shows that high performers in reasoning tasks demonstrate stronger adaptability in belief revision. Neurologically, this involves dynamic coordination between the anterior cingulate cortex, conflict monitoring, and the prefrontal cortex, decision adjustment. It requires something difficult, admitting you were wrong. High intelligence is not about defending identity, it's about pursuing accuracy. And accuracy sometimes demands humility. Number 7. You experience impostor feelings. Here's the paradox. The more competent someone becomes, the more aware they are of what they don't know. Psychologists Pauline Clance and Suzanne Imes first identified impostor phenomenon in high-achieving individuals, 1978. Later research shows that people with strong analytical ability often overestimate others' competence and underestimate their own. Why? Because advanced reasoning expands awareness of complexity. When your brain constantly simulates alternative possibilities, certainty feels suspicious. It's not a lack of intelligence, it's meta-awareness, thinking about your own thinking, and that awareness can feel uncomfortable. Number 6. You notice inconsistencies others miss, a joke that doesn't logically follow, a contradiction in someone's story, a statistical claim that doesn't add up. Highly intelligent individuals often show heightened pattern recognition ability, linked to stronger connectivity in the brain's parietal cortex and frontal regions. Research in Intelligence Journal has shown that reasoning ability correlates strongly with detecting logical inconsistencies and abstract patterns. Your brain is constantly scanning for structure, and when structure breaks, you feel it instantly. To others, it may seem like overthinking, But pattern sensitivity is one of intelligence's quiet superpowers. Number 5, you get bored easily. Boredom isn't always laziness. Sometimes it's understimulation. Studies published in Perspectives on Psychological Science suggest that individuals with higher cognitive ability require more complex input to remain engaged. The brain's dopamine system plays a role here. When novelty and challenge decrease, dopamine activity drops, reducing motivation. If simple tasks feel draining, it may not be arrogance. Your neural networks may simply crave complexity. A high-capacity processor struggles with low-resolution input. Number 4, you have a dark or dry sense of humor. Humor isn't randomness, it's cognitive gymnastics. Research from the Medical University of Vienna found that individuals who enjoy and produce dark humor score higher on verbal and nonverbal intelligence tests, Willinger et al., 2017. Understanding complex humor requires advanced verbal processing, emotional regulation, and abstract reasoning. The brain must detect incongruity, reinterpret context, and resolve tension, all within milliseconds. It's rapid pattern manipulation. If your humor often flies over people's heads, it may not be because it's inappropriate. It may simply be layered. Number 3, you question social norms. Because that's how it's always been done. For some minds, that sentence feels incomplete. Research in social, psychological, and personality science has shown that individuals with higher intelligence are more likely to question traditional norms and adopt independent viewpoints. This doesn't mean rebellious for attention. It reflects analytical autonomy. The prefrontal cortex evaluates social rules against logic and evidence rather than simply absorbing them. You're not rejecting society, you're auditing it. And auditing requires independent thought. Number 2, you think in long-term scenarios. While many people focus on immediate rewards, highly intelligent individuals often simulate future outcomes. Neuroscience links this to enhanced activity in the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex, areas involved in future planning and episodic simulation. A study in Nature Communications, later supported by Schachter et al., showed that imagining the future and recalling the past use overlapping neural networks. In other words, advanced minds mentally time travel more often. You're not overthinking, you're running simulations, and simulations reduce regret. Number 1, you doubt yourself more than others. Here it is, the most counterintuitive sign. The Dunning-Kruger effect, identified by psychologists David Dunning and Justin Kruger, 1999, demonstrated that individuals with lower ability tend to overestimate their competence, while those with higher ability are more likely to underestimate themselves. Why? Because competence increases awareness of complexity. When you see how much there is to learn, confidence becomes cautious. Self-doubt within limits reflects calibrated self-assessment. It's intellectual honesty, and intellectual honesty is rare. So what does all this mean? It doesn't mean you're superior. It doesn't mean others are less capable. Intelligence is multidimensional, analytical, emotional, creative, practical. But if several of these signs resonate with you, your mind may simply operate at a different processing depth than most environments are designed for. And here's the important part. Intelligence without direction becomes isolation. Intelligence with curiosity becomes growth. The real advantage isn't being too smart. It's knowing how your brain works and using that awareness wisely. If this made you rethink how your brain works, there's another fascinating layer waiting for you. Watch my video titled, "What Happens to Your Body When You Eat Once a Day, Hour by Hour," where we break down step by step what really happens inside your body during fasting, using real biology and real research. Because understanding your brain is powerful, but understanding your body, that's transformative, and curiosity is the smartest trait of all.